Well, the hair dryer works just fine. I tried a wet dry vac on the blow side, but it was just too much. That fitting was a fitting, that's a fitting off of my furnace. I just have it laid up there for weight. But I started out, excuse me, I started out low, way down next to the ground. Then as I added chips and added chips, I've raised the pipe and raised the pipe up, and I've filled this cavity about full of chips. And I don't know how well this is showing up, but they're mostly white. There's a few black ones in the back, but I'll rake them down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn up some gas here, and you won't be able to hear me speak, but you'll be able to hear the furnace. Now that's basically just a steel pipe with some flexible hose duct taped to it. That piece of steel pipe, I think that's off of a vacuum cleaner. But turned up like this, I start burning off some, I think it starts burning off some metal, so I'm going to turn it back down. Now what that does is turn it down. It's just enough gas to keep it burning in the middle, but the flame is able to, the oxygen reach all the way to the back side. That's what we're looking for, is the oxygen getting back here and burning all this black part of it white, and make it look like this part up here that's all white. Now after these are incinerated, I'll put them in a bucket. I'll take my auger that I've got made, and it'll pretty much pulverize them into a chunky mash. From there, to be screened, the steel will be removed with a magnet. I got a strong magnet. I run through it, pull the steel out. Then I'll screen it for larger and then smaller, and anything that is large enough to hold any bonding wires going right back in there. Anything that's small enough to fit through my finest screen, I'm going to process. "7 years bad luck." I had that mirror propped up here earlier today when it was pretty chilly. I was using it to reflect some sunlight down here. You know, I have to ship in sunlight from where I'm at. But anyway, this is my incinerator, and I can cover that top up. I've got extra brick. I can stack it on up and make it 4 foot high if I want it to, but this area down here is what the weakness is. because there's a gap and it's hard for me to get over here. But that gap, I have chips fall through occasionally, and those will wind up going back in. But you can see how this is able to be elevated. It's able to be elevated up and down like this to adjust for the height of the chips inside. Eventually all the chips that was in that bucket will be in here. It takes a while for these things to completely incinerate. They all have to be white. That black stuff, it's not good. Not for the processes that we try with this stuff. But it'll all be taken care of before I'm done. Alright, well I'll be back when I'm washing and screening.